This is Ben,
And this is Allie.
and welcome back to Ageless Gaming, where I, kind of get the gist of, just by now.
If we have any first-time listeners, what should they know about this podcast?
They should know is that I will tell you about some things I do know, but there might be some things that you know, but I'm sorry if I do that, so be warned.
Alright, and today we're specifically talking about...
Generation 4.
Yes, of Pokemon.
And the ones that are being released in Generation 4 is 5 new games, because I actually made a mistake on Generation 2, because is that the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver are actually not part of Generation 2, yet Generation 4. Because of how it actually works is that every time period or timeline is that for every game and with every remake is being released with that game is actually part of that generation. So the generation or the games that would be in that generation are Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul, and Soul Silver.
Those are all in 4?
Yeah, those are all in Generation 4.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah, that is some, like, a kind of mix-up people get, and I can kind of see why.
Yeah.
And for Legendaries, I missed 3, and that is Reggie Rock, Regice, and Reggie Steel. Those are the 3, those are the legendary Reggie trio, and there actually is a 4th, but it's not actually a Reggie trio, Reggie Gigas, which is the big brother to the 3 Reggie trio, and there's actually an unused Reggie Alpha, but the backstory I actually like is that it was a secluded Pokemon, meaning that it didn't have any friends or it didn't have any people that it could actually be with. Mm-hmm. So it actually lived in caves most of its life. So it actually went out of its cave and actually literally make new friends. So first he actually found a pile of boulders, so he made Reggie Rock. Mm-hmm. And then for a while they actually went on adventures and made new friends, but they got tired, so they actually made another Reggie, which was Regice. The 3 of them actually went together and then stumbled across a meteorite and made Reggie Steel. So after that, Reggie Alpha actually got scared because Arceus would actually punish him for making all the 3 Reggies. Mm-hmm. So he made Reggie Gigas to actually be like a bodyguard. But Arceus found out and then punished Reggie Alpha and sent him to something. And also I said Arceus. That is one of the Gen 4 legendaries that I'm gonna talk about.
Oh, I was just about to ask you, who is Arceus?
It was virtually pronounced Arceus, mm-hmm. But it actually, for European viewers or European gamers, it would resemble a swear word, I'm just going to say. Mm-hmm. So the other legendaries is Darkrai, and then there is Jirachi, which I don't know if it's actually Gen 4 or Gen 3, and I know, but then there is Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. So there's actually a 3 Pixie Pokemon.
This is in Generation 4?
Yeah, this is all in Generation 4. So they have a new team, a new evil team, Team Galactic, which wants to take over the world with and actually search for Rayquaza, which, again, this was a Pokemon that I actually got confused with in Generation 3, because I didn't know if it was a Generation 3 Pokemon, Generation 4 Pokemon. It was a Generation 3 Pokemon. Because Gardevoir is also a Generation 3 Pokemon. And I think this is actually where I also messed up, because Gardevoir's counterpart, Gallade, is a Generation 4 Pokemon. So, yeah, and also, Pseudo-Legendaries is, I think, the most misunderstood and kind of a confusing type of Pokemon. What Pseudo-Legendary implies is with every Pokemon has a base stat. They all have base stats. And a Pseudo-Legendary has a base stat, well, if it's a Pseudo-Legendary, its base stat has to add up to 600. Yeah, which makes it really powerful. Garchomp is an exception to that rule, because it may look like a legendary to you, but it is actually not a legendary, because it has a 3-stage evolution. And Dragonite is also a pseudo-legendary.
Okay, because they look like legendaries, but the legendaries just have one state. They don't evolve?
Yes. I mean, pseudo-legendaries, again, I think are kind of weird, and legendaries are kind of weird thing, because in Generation 7, I will be talking about, like, in later on. So the legendaries that I will be talking Generation 7 completely skip that rule and just do what they ever want. I mean, and plus Junichi just decided to do that, and so this is actually where I started to be familiar with Pokemon, because I mean, I am actually a young person. I mean, I'm not like a 43-year-old person or something. So
Me either.
Yeah, or I'm not like I haven't been growing up with the series. So, but I still do love the series as a whole.
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of grew up with more of Generation 1.
Yeah.
That's what I was most familiar with. We did the Game Boy. My family, we did the Game Boy games. We had like a board game. We watched the TV show.
Yeah.
And you said you started with Generation 4?
Yeah, because the famous memories I do have with Generation 4 is the anime Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Because Pokemon Platinum didn't come later, so they all were... it was just Diamond and Pearl, mostly, not Diamond and Pearl and Platinum.
Okay.
And... there's actually a kind of a glitch that you can actually try to attempt in the Diamond.
Okay.
Which is actually not really a game-breaking glitch, but it is a kind of a glitch where I forget what it's actually called, but it is where you have to do like 7 steps, no, like 14 steps or something, and like 7 different tiles. It has to be like certain tiles because it won't work. And when you go to the next screen, it actually shows Route 108 instead of showing and actually you need to do this in Jubilife Town, so or Jubilife City, so you can't do this anywhere.
Okay.
So if you see like grassy plains chopping off where Jubilife would be, then you have to go to your inventory, and then it's all fixed. But if you want to get Darkrai early, then you have to perform this glitch and go all the way to, like, all the way in open sea, because it will basically be broken, like no textures will be apparent, but only the root name and the music that it plays. Yeah, it's a weird glitch. And also, the bad egg glitch actually comes from Generation 3.
Okay.
Which I haven't really done any too much research on this. So, any of you have like any idea how to perform this glitch? Let me know. So basically, how I think it actually works is because you have to name an egg, bad egg, and it'll crash the game or something. It'll freak the game out because it doesn't know what to do. Same with the Jubilife City glitch. Because the game itself is it still runs on a kind of a decoding bug and or a decoding kind of thing, and it will try to for every chunk is where it will spawn you. But with other games like Black and White, which will be in the next episode. So basically, what I'm saying is that there are glitches you can actually make or have do, but some of them will crash the game or actually break the game in general.
Oh, yikes.
And also, I want to talk about the biggest game in gaming, or the biggest thing in gaming right now, which is speedruns. Which basically, to run it all down, basically speedruns are a kind of a challenge for people to beat a game in the most quickest time, using items you get in game, and with items that you need to progress. I haven't done a speedrun, and I probably will never do a speedrun because I'm probably the most slowest person in the world when it comes to games. I mean,
Maybe you're just more thorough and methodical.
Yeah, I'm more methodical, and if you haven't ever met me, then I just go YOLO on everything. I mean, basically that means you only live once, and that basically means that you have one chance of actually doing that, and you have a one chance of dying. So I usually do that option. And usually it actually ends in vain, ends really badly, which is kind of weird. I mean, the movie that I've actually liked as a kid with Generation 4 was The Rise of Darkrai, where they shown, Darkrai, but they also shown the legendaries for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Palkia and Dialga. Which the movie itself is really, really strong. Basically, they showed it really well in Pokemon. I'm just going to say that one person knows how to have a grass whistle. I mean, like a literal blade of grass as a whistle. And then they actually showed it in the end movie where they use a tower or something as an instrument, and they stop both of the legendaries of erasing the world, because those two are actually the gods of space and time. And Darkrai has a light side to him. I mean, he is the Dark King. I think that because Rai means, I think, like king in Japanese or something. And actually, something that I do want to mention is that what the regions are actually based off of, because there actually aren't many people that have really realized this, and I haven't realized this in a while either, but the regions are actually based off of real places. For example, Kanto is actually part of Japan. Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh, I think, are all parts of Japan. I forget now, but something that I don't really hear people talk about much. I mean, that actually is a pretty cool thing of how Junichi just based all of it on Japan. Well, actually, with later games, it will be based off of other things, other regions.
That's cool.
Like, for example, Kalos would be based off of France. And then there'd be Alola, which actually is based off of Hawaii. And then the upcoming game, Sword and Shield, the Galar region is actually based off of England itself.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, but I'll go on depth of every other ones in like later episodes. And I actually think that, well, for the most part, I actually like Gardevoir. I mean, Gardevoir is everyone's kind of go-to Pokemon, and actually, it has a really heartwarming Pokedex entry. Because it states that it actually will love its trainer very much, and it'll go to great lengths to protect him. But if she has to, or if Gardevoir has to, she'll risk her life for her trainer's life. Yeah, that is a really dedicated Pokemon.
For sure.
Yeah, and the Pokedex, I think, has some good things, has some bad things, and has some issues with it. I mean, with all the, like, and also, well, I should have said this in the first episode, Pokemon breeding is a thing. So I actually got this info off of, and I will give you a shout out to this guy, Chuck Conroy is his name, and he actually got a really big, explanation of how breeding works in Pokemon. Because in earlier generations, up to I think Generation 3, or Generation 4, I forget now, but it actually would be just you had to have a level 5 Pokemon with each generation, but generations above that are actually ticked down to level 1 when you breed them. Because, well, actually, of how you breed them is kind of weird. I mean, it actually depends on what egg group they're actually in, because it doesn't really matter what gender they are. It doesn't. It has to matter what egg group they are in. So if you have two Pokemon in the same egg group, undiscovered. So if you so Ditto is a good catalyst for this, because he can work with about anything. I mean, and also legendaries work the same as well, because they're genderless. And then, yeah, I just think that is really weird of how it works, because there are people. I mean, there are Pokemon that are male and female, and some of them are genderless, because if you want a Pokemon really badly, like for example a female Ralts, or or if you want a like one of your own Pokemon, like let's say Charmander or something, then you have to find a Ditto first, or any Pokemon that is in the same egg group as him. And there's actually a lot of egg groups, which I won't cover.
Alright, well, I think it is about time for us to wrap up for today.
Yep. I will continue on egg groups and breeding next time.
Alright.
I hope you actually have had a good time with me, and see you guys next time, and hopefully you enjoyed.